over the last like few months, I've seen more of the power of short form content, and we've been making more short form content either for brands or for ourselves. On YouTube, we don't make money off of the short form content on the shorts. But like I posted one within the last month and we have 7 million views on it. And we've gained 25,000 new subscribers off of one YouTube short that's like 45 seconds long. And then when I publish my actual YouTube videos, we're getting more people to watch it and we make more money off of that.
Disruption. We were talking about earlier how you were doing medical sales. Was it medical or was it pharma?
Yeah, it was like pharma sales. Yeah. So like the Viagra, the Lipitor, the, the exciting stuff. I'm the guy in the doctor's office that would be bringing them lunch or sitting in the waiting room. And you're like, your doctor's like 30 minutes behind. And this guy in a suit goes in with like sample boxes. And you're like, how come he gets to go in and talk to the doctor? I've been waiting out here for 30 minutes. So that was me for a while.
Well, Dan, you're one of the most intelligent people I know in this space. And so,
so nice.
where I'm really curious is what from that line of work helped you with what's inside and creating content and growing an audience. And then after that answer, what did you need to learn?
The biggest thing that helped me is I was really shy growing up. I was really shy. I went on a church mission for a couple of years when I was 19, came home at 21. I had to take a public speaking class at college and I was terrified. And all you had to do is talk for 3 minutes. And I was so scared speaking in front of people, even at 21 years old. Being a pharmaceutical sales rep taught me how to, they did so much training on verbalizing the doctor message. And we would do role playing, pretending like we're talking to a doctor. And then I'd go into doctor's offices and you have to be buddies with them, but you also need to teach them something. And I've taken that into becoming a YouTuber to where I'm comfortable talking to a camera. It feels more natural. Like it feels like I'm just talking and being friends with somebody. But then on the other side of it, you could look at our channel. I'm not as smart. I'm not a rocket scientist like Destin from Smarter Every Day. And I'm not like Jerry Rig Everything, who's like breaks everything down in depth. But if you watch our videos, you're going to be entertained and you're going to actually learn something. And also when it comes to brand deals, I've found ways to work in the brand deal without the viewer feeling as much like it's a sales pitch. And so that came from being a drug rep, which was really helpful. And then the last thing was looking at the numbers of which doctor was prescribing the most versus which medical plans they were using that actually covered my product. And I would like focus on them. I do the same thing here. It's like looking at the platform. What is important to YouTube right now? What is their priority? What does my data say? And how can I find my strengths and like feed into that so that I can fit into that bubble and maybe shift and get some more views, make some more ad revenue in that side of it. There's a lot of people that I talk to that want to be a YouTube creator so much that they're like, I just am never going to go to school. I'm never going to get a full-time job, regular job. But I'm kind of the opposite. And maybe it's because I'm 41-year-old YouTube creator. I think that people really should like go to school, get an education, get a job, work hard, and still follow your dreams of being a YouTube creator. But there's so many things you can learn and some stability that gives you that opportunity to just like take risks on your YouTube or influencer side of things, that if that's your full-time job and every little penny that comes in, you're going to have to follow, you're going to be really in a rigid space where you can't really grow your YouTube channel or your influence as much. So I don't know, the whole don't quit your day job. I'm fine if people quit their day job, but let's wait till it grows a little bigger and hopefully you can learn something from your day job or from college or school before you make that switch.
That's a really good point. I look back at, college and whether I should have done it or not. And the truth is, I didn't know what to do in the first place. I did not have a vision of what my career needed to be. And going to, school helped me get a lot more data of like what existed out there. And then when I started a business, which I always knew I was going to, I was able to, define a niche that I could, truly pursue and grow. And that's what, created Plaid, which got acquired by Ben Group. But that's a good point. I actually see, my experience at college of just letting me just really see what was out there and like meeting a lot of people and defining it. And so maybe that's what's going to be the future, with people creating content on YouTube or TikTok, where maybe school can be helpful in this defining, what you want to accomplish and what you want to achieve. And it could be a good, launching point.
Yeah, Lincoln and all of his friends right now, he's 16 years old now. He's not in second grade anymore. He's thinking about college now. All of his friends are thinking about college. He's a golfer and he's kind of on this summer's big the next few months. The next 2 months, he's got to play well enough to try to get college scholarships for it. But it's interesting because a big part of their future, even as college athletes, is going to be what is your social presence? Because now there's sporting deals for these name, image, and likeness for college athletes. But a lot of them are relying on, I'm a really good golfer, I'm a really good football player, I'm a good baseball player. And they're like, show me the money. But a lot of the traditional brands, I met with, we went golfing with the CEO of VaynerMedia this last week in New York, Gary Vaynerchuk's brother, AJ. And AJ was telling us they were at the forefront. Like, they just got a guy drafted yesterday that was on one of the best teams, Cincinnati, this last year. And they did his NIL deals, but it was tricky because even though he is so famous, one of the best quarterbacks, he got drafted, I think, in the second or third round. It was hard to justify to some of these brands, because at the end of the day, they're like, well, what's his following on Instagram? What's his following on TikTok? And even though they're super great at sports, they don't have that. And so I've been trying to tell Lincoln
influence? Who's going to see if there's a collaboration or not?
Yeah, exactly. And so I've been trying to help these kids, like my own son, but I mean, he's fortunate to have the YouTube side, so he has a bit of a following, but all of his friends that are playing sports that come to me and they're like, we want to get NIL deals and make this money. And I'm like, hey, go and actually make content on your Instagram, grow that thing up. And then that way, when you do get to college, instead of making, I mean, they're really making like 50,000 a year just from name, image, likeness deals. You could make 150 now because you have even 10 or 20,000 followers on Instagram. And so I think, like, going back to like going to school and everything, you can do it hand in hand. And I think even if these guys don't end up getting name, image, likeness deals or whatever, it's important to understand how social media works for these kids these days and to grow their profile in an organic way and not sell out and take the money right away, but like grow this thing, because who knows what the future is going to look like. But I would imagine that every kid and teenager is going to have some form of social media in their life that's important.
Yeah, becoming a celebrity or creator back in the day, or let's say specifically celebrity or talent, was you got this group of people to approve you and you got to be in a film or a TV show and you became a star. Now, the difference is you were literally told exactly what to do. You knew your piece in the puzzle, and you listened and you followed direction. Today, creators and talent can have way more influence and on what they do and how they do it. And you're right. It makes it so it's that much easier for the brand to collaborate with you. Not only that, you have an affinity when it comes to the sport, but being able to have distribution, being able to have a community of loyalists just makes it that much more valuable.